Hey, this is Miss D for 6 Month Sports. Please like, share, and subscribe, and welcome to my channel. It took me a few days to recover from the Lions. The Detroit Lions is my hometown team, and it took us to recover from the loss. It was 15-2, and we had home field advantage, of course. And coming to this game, I was so hyped, like, yes, I think we're going to the Super Bowl. We go to New Orleans, NOLA. I'm like, oh, yes. Watch the game. We started off good. We had the lead. Then disaster struck. Turnovers. And the Washington Commanders came in and took advantage of our turnovers. And Jared Goff didn't look like the veteran. And Jay Daniels looked like the veteran. And, his numbers was okay. So I'm looking at the numbers. And Jared Goff was 23 of 40 for 313 yards, and we had one touchdown. But what was costly is he threw a pick six. He tried to run back and tackle the guy. The guy chopped him in the foot. That should have been a penalty, but from then on, it was just downhill. He threw 2 interceptions. No, 1 more interception, excuse me. No, 3 interceptions. He threw 2 more interceptions. I forgot about it. It was so bad. The Lions got away from what they usually do. They could not stop Jahmyr Gibbs. He was running the football. They was throwing screens. And it wasn't like necessarily that the Commanders was giving pressure to the Lions. But he had happy feet. He overthrew some balls, underthrew some balls. He just looked real nervous in the pocket. And I'm like, what is going on? We went from lead 7-0. At halftime we was down. I'm like, what is going on? And I cannot blame Dan Campbell. But I can blame, first up, Ben Johnson. Like, what was you thinking? They could not stop Jahmyr Gibbs. He was running between the tackles. He was getting all the yards in between the tackles outside, take it outside. They would do screen plays to him, and they just couldn't stop him. And then he started doing the trick plays again, and I don't understand what was going on. Like, there was one with Jamison Williams. They hiked the ball. They threw it to, I think, Jahmyr threw it to Jamison. Threw a flea flicker. And they wound up intercepting. Oh, that was one interception. And I'm like, why would you do that? And they can't stop Jahmyr Gibbs. And I was very disappointed at the poise of Goff. It seemed like he was nervous. There was no pressure there. So what was he doing? And just the untimely play calling, as far as like I said, the trick plays. There was another trick play they had with Jamison, and instead of going and diving for the ball, he let Mike Sanderstill intercept the ball, Michigan guy. And so the numbers look good as far as the yards and the attempts, but the interceptions. St. Brown went off as well. He had 105 yards and 2 TDs. But when it came time, we had a chance to take the lead. I can't remember, it was, I think we had a chance plenty of times to either go up by 3 or go up by 4, and we had throw the ball away. The interceptions killed us, and they took advantage of it. And that's giving up to Jaden Daniels. I mean, he was so poised. It's like nothing bothered him. And I was like, well, why can't Jerry Goff, the veteran, look like that? We talk about a 24-year-old or a 31-year-old quarterback. So Jaden Daniels had 22 or 31, two TDs, and 299 yards. But the big play was that really kind of killed us a little bit was the Terry McLaurin play, where he hit the screen pass of 70 yards. He took it to the house. He had 4 receptions, 87 yards. So I'm just this video. I came in to get my thoughts straight. I just can't believe how we did not take advantage of the situation. We could have easily won this game. It didn't look like it, but the interceptions and the pick six hurt, of course. The interceptions hurt because they turned those into touchdowns, and you left the defense on the field too long, and we had 18 people out, and it showed. After a while, you keep leaving your defense on the field, and they have nobody to cover for them. So I can't necessarily blame Aaron Glenn. I know that maybe his mind was on maybe getting the NFL job. I can't blame him. He did the best he could with what he had. I think they got tired because turnovers led to Washington getting points. And I think it was one drive where they had an 8-minute drive. And so that just took the heart out of the Lion defense. And we still had chances to take the lead or be closer, but every time we do trick plays, I blame Ben Johnson for what was he thinking. But I think it was a 4th and 2, and we still was down 1 score. We was down 7 points, and no, we was down 5 points, I think. And we had 12 men on the field, so that was just one mistake on the defense. Other than that, I can't necessarily blame the defense. Of course, I would like to have that 4th and 2 back, but this is such a disappointing into the season. I just can't get my thoughts together, so I'm rambling on. I'm sorry about that. But it's a weird game. Like, we could have won this game. We self-destruct. Now the Commanders, they came in, they was poised, but we could have won this game. We just had too many individual team mistakes, wrong play calling. You know, go with what works. They could not stop our running backs. Well, backs as well. Why not continue to do that until they stop it? Screen plays, they couldn't stop it. St. Brown, they couldn't stop it. But you throwing interceptions, you doing over them. I don't get it. And so, yeah. So I was saying that if the Lions didn't make it, maybe Lamar Jackson, because unlike, just like golf, we get to that next, but at least continue on golf. Golf, one of the main reasons why he was traded from the Rams to the Lions, they felt like they could not win the Super Bowl. They could get to the Super Bowl, the LA Rams, they can't win with Jared Goff. Like, he will have spectacular regular seasons. Then when the playoffs happen, he get nervous. He just looked like a completely different player. The interceptions, the holding on to the ball, taking sacks. He had 2 sacks where he just held on to the ball too long. He was like Sam Darnold. And I was just very disappointed in that. And I wanted Jared Goff to prove him wrong. And it would actually help us as well. But he proved him right. And now people say, should they move on with Jared Goff? No, because realistically, who are they going to get? There's no solid backups out there, and I don't see a Jaden Daniels type, a very poised young quarterback. I don't see any quarterbacks out there that can get you to this point. And he did get us to this point. I do think we have to also blame Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes, I don't know if he tried hard enough. We got Zadarius Smith. What was Zadarius Smith? He was very quiet. I don't even think they sacked Jaden Daniels or got any. I didn't even hear his name in the game. So we got Zadarius. You didn't try to get Max Crosby. I know we wasn't gonna get Myles Garrett. The Browns, they're stubborn and they want to give up Myles Garrett. But why didn't we push to get Max Crosby? You know, the injuries piling up. was a Calais Campbell. I don't know if they called Miami or not. It was Marshawn Lattimore. He played with the Saints. He is on the Commanders. Why didn't we get some more corners as well? We were just missing a lot of pieces on defense. And when the free agent happened, I don't know if Brad Holmes pushed that. He was just very he was gonna hold pat. And hold pat with what? You know, I didn't like the backups we had, and it showed. You know, the injury showed, the lack of depth showed when Jared Goff had very little room for error, because you know your defense is not as solid, and you threw those interceptions, you do a pick six, you're taking sacks, you're throwing over people's head, you're doing trick plays, and there's no need to do that. Like when we got whatever we wanted. We was in the red zone, and we had 2 picks in the red zone, and we couldn't really get any points besides 3 points. The last one really hurt us. I think we could have took the lead, and we threw a pick, or we fumbled, or just silly stuff that happened, and it was just so self-destructive. And you just took the wind out of the fans. The fans was excited, and I don't know if you can get this opportunity again. You're 15-2, you won your division, you got home field advantage, and you lose to a young team with a young quarterback. It's like, ugh. So that was that. So I always said, okay, the Lions can't make it. My next choice, individual-wise, I'm not necessarily a Ravens fan, of course, was Lamar Jackson. Now, Lamar Jackson has been MVP, been lights out the last 2 or 3 years. Been the MVP. But when it came down to the playoffs, especially last year, turnovers, once again, like the Lions, turnovers. They took the lead against the Bills, but Lamar was trying to do too much. And even though it wasn't like it was in Philadelphia, where it was snowing heavily, you know, you're still in Buffalo, the ground is hard, the ball is slippery because it's cold outside, and you hold on the ball with one hand, it's very slippery, and you're trying to avoid the sack, and you turn the ball over. So that's a fumble. And he was in the red zone. And that's once again like, these mistakes, all these turnovers in the red zone is what killed the Ravens. They could have easily won the game. The defense played good. Offense let them down. You know, Josh Allen was okay. He only had 100-some yards, 2 touchdowns, but one was rushing. And Lamar, you know, people say, oh, he can't win in the postseason. He played okay, but the turnovers, the interceptions, he tried to throw it to Andrews. It was intercepted. And mistakes, turnovers cost you the game. And even though Andrews dropped a 2-point conversion, I feel that maybe it was meant to be. They shouldn't have won the game because they didn't deserve to win the game. Too many turnovers, too many mental mistakes. They went away from their running back. You have a monster in a running back position. I mean, that dude is big. You know, run him through between the tackles. He can catch the ball out the backfield. Do that. He has some wide receivers that did good, likely scored a few touchdowns, but the mistakes really hurt them. I think even Andrews had a fumble as well. So it was just turnover city for the Baltimore Ravens, and once again they lose because of turnovers like last year. And I wanted Lamar to win because just like golf, he has a negative. People think of him negatively in the playoff situations, like he can't get over the hump. And some of it was his fault. You know, you gotta be careful with the ball. You overthrew people, you threw interceptions, you fumbled the ball. In the playoffs, you need all the possessions. And you was in the red zone a lot of times, like the Lions. The Ravens was in the red zone, and you turn the ball over. And so you get this reputation of a player that, yes, in the regular season, he's the MVP. In the playoffs, you fade. And that's where Patrick Mahomes, he might not have all the MVP numbers, he's close to it, but in the playoffs, he's the MVP. He's clutch. I think Lamar has clutch, but I think sometimes also, I'm going to blame also the Ravens organization. Where were you when Davante Adams said he wanted out of Las Vegas? I think the Jets gave up a 5th round, 6th round. Why are you not going after big receivers? Now, Zay Flowers is okay, but he's a small receiver. He was injured. I don't know if Zay Flowers would have helped them. They lost last year because of the turnovers. Davante Adams was out there. Your leading receivers, like I said, likely play okay, but your leading receivers is basically Andrews. He's okay. You're not helping Lamar as well. So it's blame to go around for the Ravens. Lamar couldn't hold on to the ball. Drop passes by Andrews, especially the 2-point conversion. But even then, he fumbled the ball and turned the ball over, and they was marching down the field. Actually, he caught the ball. He got the ball ripped, Andrews, and he was running. And he was trying to do too much instead of just taking the yards that was given to him. So just costly mistakes. They cost the Ravens a chance to go to the AFC Championship game. So this weekend, very disappointed. First with my Lions, just self-destructive, not playing the way they usually play, and not these games. I just can't. I don't understand it. And then the Ravens. So this whole weekend of football was very disappointing to me. So it took me a long time to do this video, but well, maybe next year for the Lions, they definitely have to look in the mirror and see that they, especially golf, that I could have played with more poise. I could lead my team and not get rattled, because I think sometimes when a quarterback gets rattled, everything else just fall apart. And Brad Holmes definitely has to look in the mirror. I think maybe with some moves he could have made, they could have helped the defense on the defensive side, because we didn't get any sacks on Jaden Daniels. Yes, golf turned the ball over. We didn't get any sacks in the game. And it's just like, wow. He got sacked twice. So we need a defensive line. So I was just wondering if we won this game, which we should have, because the turnovers really hurt us. Going forward, how will we look against Philadelphia or even the Rams on the defensive end? You can't get pressure on anybody. So it started way before this game, but it didn't help that we didn't play turnover-free football. So that's all I want to come on here and talk about. I'm very disappointed with this situation. Well, I'll still watch the rest of it, but it's not as fun without my Lions and possibly see Lamar if the Lions can make it. So, this is Miss D for 611 Sports. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'm out.